Hey, Bill. Welcome back to our episode of FSi DFS Fantasy NASCAR picks. I'm Mr. Mega 31. I know you don't like speculation videos, so I was off today, so I'm going to bang out an actual one for the Chicago race, street race. So kind of glad I did because there are a lot of cars that got eliminated, and I'm so glad the 53 didn't make it because he was spun out every 30 seconds, it seemed like. It was crazy. So I think it's going to be very chalky just because of some of the accidents and people that couldn't qualify. There's a lot of good cars in the back, and you want to chase place differential here. I do have like dominators listed, but they're dominators because this race only has, I believe, about 50 laps. So you're really not going to have fast laps or um, want to look at laps led because they really don't amount to much here. You want to try to find finishing position and place differential where you can get it. If you are new to these videos, if you look at the color scheme, the ones in baby blue are drivers that are better than average at road courses. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are super proficient, but it means they're better than average and they kind of stick out. Um, Back when they used to only run a couple of them, a lot of these drivers just went through the motions just to try to get through it to next week. But some of them actually became kind of skilled through COVID as we added more and more to the schedule. The ones in the brown are cup drivers or guys brought in specifically that are really good in like Transams or open wheel or all kinds of other different road courses, like types of events. So they're brought in specifically by these teams to hop in these cars to try to go out there and win some races for the owners. Okay, so starting up top, Shane Van Gisbergen. I mean, you got to think he's got to be a lock here. Did really well in practice. He was second fastest, and he's won the last two road courses he won here in the Cup last year. Very good at this. So you think like most people are probably going to lock him into their lineup is going to be very, very good. So no objections there. Kyle Larson, I think it was a great pivot off of him, maybe more of GPP play. Larson did win the first road course that they ran this year at Circuit Americas, and he is decent at road courses and in practice time. He was seventh, so not too bad here. Good car, good team. Think he'll have be highly owned also. Connor Mosaic is the one that's got to make you think up here. And what I did is if you look at the ARP Chicago 23, the race was so frustrating last year. Weather was abysmal. Rained. They didn't even get a full half a race in, and they called it and made it an official race, which made us all mad because DK should have just canceled the contest because the race wasn't official, but NASCAR deemed it official because they knew there was no way they were going to be able to resume it in with the weather conditions and everything. So Cole Custer ended up winning it, but it got kind of jumbled with where the rain fell and people like hit it and stuff. So I think the best thing to look back at last year is not finishing position, but average running position. And Connor Mosaic ran last year, and his average running position was 6.4. He is really good at road courses. He is in much better car this year in the Junior Motorsports 88. And I think that you got to consider him in GPPs. I'm not saying he's like the next Van Ginsbergen here, but I think that he is one that could still finish in the top five, maybe top 10. Have some really good finishing position, has a decent salary, and somebody that I'm definitely going to be throwing in GPPs. Ty Gibbs, I think also has been very good at road courses here. He had a couple bad finishes in Xfinity just because of crashes, but I think he'll do well here also. And I think really with cash, there's enough value down below with the primes that you can play uh, Van Gisbergen, Larson, and Gibbs like two out of the three of them and just kind of rotate. Maybe do three cash lineups and have a combination, three or four. However, that's going to be math to figure that out. But whatever would allow you to have every single combination of having at least two of those in with the core plays. And I think that you'll be really good there. So then Mayor fastest in practice. He is good, but last year he only averaged 25.1. Here he's had some wrecks on road courses, so I can't really lock him in. I think he's a great boom bust play here, and I'll definitely play him in some GPPs, but I'm not going to play him in cash today. John Hunter Nemechek. I think this is, and I've been starting to throw out 100K. The 20K is at the top of the GPP if it's still open. If hopefully you reserve by the time you watch this. So I'm trying to give you like low to medium owned plays that I think could be match plays and just play these and then you throw in the primes or other cash plays to give you a little bit of floor. These are the plays with low ownership that I think could smash and give you the differentiation that you need. You don't have to go super crazy. And the last couple of weeks that I threw these out here, they have been on point, like at least 2 out of 3 of them. So John Hunter Nemechek's going to have low ownership because he had to change engines, got shot at the back of the field. So he's starting six is very dangerous. But throughout the race, I think he can make it up. He's a cup driver even though I have him in baby blue here, not as a ringer. I don't feel he's like a ringer, but he's good at road courses. He has he's finished pretty well in I think top five in the last 2 or 3 of them that they've had when he's dropped down to Xfinity and run them here. And last year he had an average running position of second. And I think he had a really good shot of winning this race if they and passing Custer if they ran the thing all the way out. So I think people are going to look at him and be like, it's too dangerous. I'm not playing John Hunter Nemechek. They have all these other sexy names in the field. I think that could be a mistake in like a GPP. I'm going to have him there in my 20K line. Parker Klingerman, I think he might have to go to the back too. I know they're having an issue with something also, I believe. So watch that. Other than that, he does have a little bit of floor, but I think with all the other good drivers here, if it was just a standalone Xfinity race like in Portland or something, and there weren't any other drivers because they're far away from Cup and it was only Xfinity drivers, I definitely Klingerman would be a cash play. I like him. He's aggressive. Does really well on road courses. Um, and he had a 9.1 average running position and has run pretty well in other races this year. So someone definitely consider he was 8 fastest in practice. So a lot of upside for Klingerman and GPP. Jesse Love, same thing too. He didn't race here last year as an ARCA. He wasn't up here. Uh, Practice was 12th. He has had some top tens in road courses this season. As a rookie to get the blue label is pretty good. So I think he's another kind of sleeper here up here, but it's kind of a little bit risky. I don't know if he can hang on to the top 10, but I think it's somebody that you can take shots on in tournaments. Chandler Smith, I think, has a floor for cash. He's been solid, although except for one wreck in road courses mostly this season. He's in really good equipment in the Joe Gibbs car, although in practice, oh, where on earth did he end up? And again, with like practice, like I can't like I like looking at it a little bit, but I think on other tracks that practice would be much more important. Did he not practice out? Where is maybe he's just not listed on here 17th. So that's okay. Uh, Last year in this race, he had an average running position of 10.4, so I think that's good. Cole Custer has a prime on him, but I wasn't going to put him as a prime play. I do think that after my first build, I was trying to get Custer in but then I decided that it probably is better to try to go with cash with like the 210K guys. But Custer is definitely one that's going to save you a little bit and maybe differentiate your lineup and be able to maybe instead of going like with some of the cheaper prime plays, maybe getting like Creed or Cram in your lineup. So Custer definitely really like here. I think he'll be highly owned. I know people might just write him off last year and like road courses this year, he's been like more of a top 10 car than like something challenging for the win like it was last year in most of them. But last year, like he had the average running position of number one. And I know he won the race and I know it was a rain shortened race, but I still think that he had a really good car there. He practiced well, he qualified well. This year in practice, his speed was fifth fastest. So I think you can definitely consider him as a strong cash play. AJ Allmendinger has always been really good on these road courses and types of tracks. I know the colleague program has taken way step back, but maybe this is the day he rises up. I think that he's a good one there. Parker Retzlaff, I considered making him one of the 20K drivers, but then I settled on Martis over him. But there's only 100K difference in them. So either one of these guys, or maybe both, maybe I'll give you four here. But Retzlaff if you look at every single road course this year, I don't think he's finished less than 11th. It's been 9 or 11. So if he can hold his position here, I know his average running position last year was 22.7, but he's been good. This Jordan Anderson team has been really good on road courses. He seems to be someone, he should probably have the blue on him. I'm not gonna put it on there right now. See, that's why you watch these videos, just to look at like freeze it, look at my chart and stuff, because sometimes some things when I try to hurry to get them put together, so I can get them banged out, everything's not accurate. But yeah, so really like him here too. So either he or Pardis would be the third 20K driver, but Sheldon or not Sheldon McCreed, Austin Hill is going to be the second one here. Last year 3.4, he has been consistently running in the top 5 at road courses, a really good road course driver. In practice his speed was a little bit lower, 15th, but I think with his talent and everything and aggressiveness, and when it's hard to pass, he's one that's like patient and able to take calculated risks and make passes easily. I think that he's one that I really like. So Nemechek and Hill, and then pick between Retzloff and Partis. I'll get to in a second. Sammy Smith definitely has some upside. He has run really well on road courses. There was one, I think, they had an accent that kind of brings his average down, but last year was average top 10. I think he had probably the one of the best average running positions here, definitely top 8. So 7.6 is where he ended up. So I think he's another one in this junior motorsports that could be kind of a sleeper or a solid cash play if you end up in that range. Joey Logano is taking over Haley Deegan's car just to try to do research and development. We'll see if Haley Deegan gets the car back. I know Logano's not taking it over, but we'll see what happens for the rest of the season. I think they want to see like what a good experienced driver can do in this car to see if the car is the problem or Haley's problem. Now Logano has had a hit or miss season and cup. He didn't really look great in practice here, so I think he's a GPP play. He's a good experienced cup driver, but he's not the best on road courses, so I'm not going to be playing him in cash. I think he could be kind of a trap there. Alex Labay has always been solid on road courses. I don't know SS Greenlight Racing. I just wish he was like a C ride or like a more solid car, but 16.4 average running position should finish around where he starts, and at 6-7K is a decent deal for you. So actually these 3 drivers between Retzlaff, LeBay, and Pardis. But Pardis last year had a average running position just outside the top 10. He in practice today was in the top 10 in speed. He is a very good road course driver. And it's his car. Um, so you just gotta hope with the single car team where they don't, this isn't Cup where everything has parity, um, that everything is fine. I mean, they did have a long practice, which is good here. So I think if there's any issues, we would have heard about it, but I really like the upside here. So again, if you're trying for that 20K, Nemechek, Hill, and then pick between Retzloff, Pardis or LeBay, I'm going with Pardis as my choice out of the 3, then probably Retzloff and then LeBay. Anthony Alfredo, GPP, he's really not good at road courses and street courses, and I think he's probably going to fall down a bit. Austin Green had been super solid. I'm definitely playing this guy in some of my lineups too, because he has just done really well in these Xfinity road courses through the course of the season. Again, another Jordan Anderson car, same as Retzloff, someone that I think is going to have low ownership and that has shown to be really reliable and done really well so far this season. Let's see where his practice was, just make sure it wasn't anything like horrible. Uh, 21st. So yeah, I think that he's definitely um, should be finishing the top 20, if not maybe get into like the top 15. Riley Herbst, I think is going to be very popular here just with his price point and the place differential, but he gets into trouble a lot, especially on road courses. So GPP, I guarantee you'll see him in the tires at least once today. Leland Honeyman hasn't has done really well in Xfinity. He has had some periods where he's done good on road courses, but Not recently, so GPP for me, there's so many other better plays. Today, if you're starting further on back, I would consider him as cash. Ryan Sieg, GPP, not a great road course driver. Same thing with Jed Burton, even though he's in a Jordan Anderson car. I think I'm going to put a fade on him here. I mean, they were right around like kind of where they started last year, average running position. They have seen this course at least last year. So I see if either one of them popped in practice or anything that would make me change my mind, but probably not. I thought I saw Jed down towards the bottom of, yeah, Jed 35th in practice speed, and Ryan Sieg. Don't think I saw him up in anything super impressive there. So I think you're fine just moving on. There's many much better value plays in here than to have to worry about these guys. Blicky is the guy that teaches people how to drive on road courses, but they say those that can't teach, and I think that might be the case here. He's always like looked like a good play, but he was in Joe Gibbs equipment, I think, and did okay, but now he's back on the GGM. We've seen them this car like break down quite often, so not super excited there. Brendan Poole's been decent on road courses, and I don't think get the blue yet, but I think you consider him cash. If he finishes around where he starts, and that's where he averaged last year, he should be good. DiBenedetto and Ellis not interested. They're not good on road courses. Kyle Weatherman is starting exactly where you want him on a road course. I think he's a great cash flow and play here. Same thing with Blaine Perkins. Um, they both were top 25 drivers last year here. Josh Williams, he has been good on road courses at times. He's about ready to lose his blue because he's been pretty bad this year, getting it like wrecks and having mechanical failures and stuff. It is a collie car, which should help him, but last year he was like 37th, couldn't really figure out this track. So I think he and Riley Herbst will be in the tires together. Daniel Suarez, I think you got to consider in cash here, but didn't really look good. And this car kind of scares me. 31st in practice speed. So what was the cost play? I might just drop him to a GBP play. I think Suarez is the talent, but I just don't know if the equipment's going to get there. So I don't know if I can safely recommend him in cash. Brandon Jones, we always say there's races to play Brandon Jones, there's races to not. This is one that I prefer not to. He's not really good on road courses, and I think it's going to be a GPP. He's been in Rex and road courses this year, and he would be if you want three musketeers that are going to end up in the tires, it's going to be Riley Herbst, it's going to be Josh Williams, and it's going to be Brandon Jones. Um, Now that Kenko Miura, who is in the 53 that kept on spinning out every 30 seconds, is not made the field. So Castro is a good ringer, but he just really isn't putting anything together. Maybe it's the car that he's in. The SNS, the green light one is. He'll be low on things to GPP. Potential for maybe 10 place differential points. You can get up to 25, more like probably 7 or 8. So you can play in a GPP. Now you have the prime range here. Jeremy Clements, great at road courses. Had issues with in practice and qualifying. So he's about 24th place car, should be able to get up there. Kyle Sieg, I put him as a prime play because I want to give you some. I think he's an attrition play. He is not a good road course driver. He was not fast in practice at all. He had like 32nd. But I think that at 4,700, if you're looking for a punt, he's got the place differential advantage over Ellis, over Honeyman, anyone else in this range. And if you want to try to get those two 10K guys in, that's fine. Then Sieg should be your punt play and prime play. Allgaier is going to be the lock of the slate, the highest owned driver, probably next to Shane Van Gisberg. He got into the tires in practice, and a car came and sideswiped him, destroyed his car. Has to go to a backup, but that backup's probably pretty good. He was running really fast before he had the wreck. Looked good in practice. 4.1 average last year, was a contender for the race before it got cut short, and he's looked good on road courses throughout this season. So I think that this is good chalk. You just need to lock that into your cash lineup. So between him and Clement and then Sieg, but if you want to drop down to like a Custer or build in that like in the range where you're more in the 8 and 9K guys than trying to get 10K guys in, then throw Sheldon Creed or Sage Graham. And these are floor cash plays too. They also had problems in practice and qualifying, but they're starting at the back of the field. They got no place to go but up, and these cars are not like Cram. I know his average was like 30, but I think he's got more potential than that. And Creed, he finished second at Sonoma. He is a really good road course driver. He's aggressive, and they can throw out the fact that for stage points, they can short pit, they can do a lot of things to try to get track position and hold it, and Creed's usually pretty good at that. So that's what I got. I'm going to get out of here so I can get this video posted because we're almost to an hour to lock. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat below. Hit me up Megaro31 on Twitter/X. These videos help you. Please like, subscribe to our channel, share with a friend, and look forward to tonight where I'll be doing the cup video for you. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. Hope you have an amazing weekend. I'll see you